Hello, everyone.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Welcome to the Franklin Counseling Center.
You're here for the kings and queens and everyone in between LGBTQ support group.
Sounds right.
Right? We're all in the right
Sounds right.
place.
So I've seen some of you here before, I believe. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around, we're going to do introductions. Tell me your name, your age, preferred pronouns, and what brings you in today. So I'll start. I'm Gabby, I'm 24. I'm here because I love meeting all you guys and I want to learn a little bit about you.
I'm John. He, him, his, please.
Oh, she.
I identify as a cisgender male. And I'm here, for all of you. I work at the center here, and I'm excited to see some new faces. I'm excited to meet you. Maria, I think I've seen you around the center before. Mitch, you've been in a couple of my sessions. So that's me in a nutshell.
I'm Maria, I'm 18, I prefer she, her, and I'm here because I'm battling with my identity and if I know what exactly I want.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Mitch. I'm 19 years old. I prefer he, him. And I'm here because I am transgender and I'm trying to show the world that I am who I am.
Awesome. Thanks for coming back today.
Yeah, welcome back, Mitch.
Hello, group.
Hi.
I was born Ricardo. I left him in Europe 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I prefer she, her, mom. That's the struggle.
Mhm.
Story of my life right now.
So you're transgender.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I'm Kimberly.
Hi, Kimberly.
Great to meet you today.
Thank you. And what else you wanted to know? I'm sorry. I was so in tune with what they were saying.
That's okay. I think you covered most of it. Oh, maybe your age and
Oh, sorry, I was just sorry.
Does a lady ever tell her age,
Hello.
Gabby?
I guess you can skip that one if you prefer.
I'm old enough.
So let me just let's do a quick recap, just so Gabby and I can be clear on kind of what everyone's here. Maria, you said you were having some struggle with your identity, trying to figure out what you want. Is that what you said?
Yes.
And Mitch, you said you were trying to show the world who you were
Yeah.
as a transgendered young man.
Yes.
And then Kimberly.
This is the situation.
Okay.
In a nutshell. I was born a man, right? But
That can be a situation for some.
it can. But I am Kimberly now.
Mm.
I was once married
Mm.
to a female. We have 2 kids, teenagers.
Mm.
So what I'm struggling with is I don't really give a shit about acceptance, right? Because I am who I am. Maybe because I'm old enough, I've gone over that hump,
Mm.
But I'm struggling with my kids accepting me for who I am.
Mm.
And how helping them understand, like, I am Kimberly, I'm not daddy, I'm not, like, work with me and be supportive of me. So I think that's where my struggle and my lack of confidence is, because they always viewed me as dad, and now they don't even know, they even call me it.
So
That's
you're
tough for you.
That's hard. It's
Yeah.
crying. I don't know how to make them not feel uncomfortable because they do. People don't understand. For them, they're friends. They feel like they get made fun of. They say their father's a freak. They ask me questions. I don't know if it's too much. It's too much to say like everything that I did, didn't do. Because I am 100% tetas. See, they look real. Nothing is in between. You know what I mean? Like, it's what it is. And
That's got to be a struggle for you.
it's hard because I've learned to zone out ignorance from people. These are the people that I love.
So it sounds to me like the struggle then is helping them come to see that you're still the same person, but that you need to be respected for who you are as a woman, for your identity as a woman.
Yeah, and almost like I'm willing to conform, even though it doesn't make me that happy for my kids if they don't want to call me mom or something. But I feel like they're distancing themselves from me because I don't look like dad anymore.
Yeah, that can be tough.
I look better than them all.
Well,
I'm just
Kimberly,
saying.
Well, that's a story for another session.
if it's okay to interrupt you, it sounds like Mitch might be going through something similar.
I
You
know,
said-
that's why I was
Do you mind
listening.
sharing that with us? Only if you're comfortable.
Of course.
How old are you anyway?
I'm 19.
19. My kid 3 years younger than you. They don't even want to talk to you.
That sucks. I feel bad.
So Mitch, why don't you share your story?
Alright, well, I came out when I was 12 years old.
So you came out as transgender?
Transgender,
Okay.
yes. So I came out when I was trans when I was 12 years old, and I'm 19 now.
How was that met when you came out?
It
What was
was-
that like?
It was really scary.
Yeah.
You know, I told my parents.
And what did they think?
One of them was very, very accepting. The other one wasn't at all. Still isn't very accepting.
That's gotta be tough.
So it really, really sucks. And I, like, am heartbroken because, you know, your parents are always supposed to love you no matter what. And it just really sucks that one parent just does not accept me for who I am.
But you have one that does.
Exactly.
So
and
that's good. At least
we're
you have
very
that in your
close. So,
corner. Awesome.
Thank you for sharing that.
Oh my God, can I give you a hug? Because I have
Yeah.
to tell you, I wish my kid could be that accepting of me.
You are very brave for sharing that, for going
Absolutely.
through that, and coming out at such a young age. That is
How do
good
you
for you to
how
be
do
so
you
sure of
deal?
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you deal with your other parent? You know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm going through the same stuff. I know it's crazy because maybe I could be your mom, right?
I wish.
I'm old enough for it.
So why,
struggling.
we'll do some community chat. It sounds like that our community kind of wants to
Get to know each other more.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
we'll build that in, but I think it's important too that we include Maria in the discussion.
Yeah, we don't want
Maria,
to
why don't you?
down there.
Yeah, why don't you talk to us about what's challenging you?
Okay, so my whole life throughout high school, I've been straight, always dated boys. I never really had a second thought, but recently, the past few months, I met a girl.
And what's her name?
Her name is Jessica,
Mhm.
and I've felt feelings for her that I have never felt for another girl, but I felt these feelings in a relationship. And
Wait a minute. You felt him in a relationship. What does that mean?
when it's feelings that I would feel when I'm in a relationship.
Oh, I see.
So I felt like the butterflies, like wanting to be around her, like
Mhm.
wanting to text her,
Mhm.
like the feelings of like, oh my God, I'm getting your crush. But
was that weird for you?
it was weird. I wasn't really mad at myself, and I wasn't too freaked out. I questioned it a little bit. I didn't know what my parents would say, what my grandma would say, because she's very, very Catholic. She
Mhm.
has Bibles, crosses all over the house. She's very, very traditional, like man and woman. That's how it needs to be.
Does she think you're going to hell?
She did say
got one of
she
those
does
too.
think yes, she does think that if
True.
I do end up with a woman one day that I'm gonna go to hell because it's not what God wants. But I told her if God didn't want gay people, then why would he make people who are
That's right.
of the
Amen.
LGBTQ plus in between community?
Mm-hmm.
But I talked to this girl more, and we got closer, and we started talking, and we became more close with each other with a connection.
So are you two in a relationship now?
We are. We're not labeled as one, but we basically are. But not a lot of people know about it because I don't know what people would say.
And is it important to you what people say?
Not really, because for me, I don't really need someone to tell me who I can and can't be with
Mm-hmm.
because no one knows me, so what they think of me doesn't really matter.
Do you mind if I ask you a question, Maria?
Yeah.
So then who are you worried about what they might say?
I'm more worried about my I'm just gonna call her my girlfriend because that's what I think of her to
Okay.
be.
That's so we know how to refer to her as well.
More worried about what people are gonna say to her, more worried about my family and the comments, like, especially like with my grandma, because I grew up with my grandma a lot, so it's almost like, well, what did she do wrong? Because everyone knows that she's very religious. So it's not mostly me, it's more so the people that,
It's around you.
yeah.
And Mitch, is it your, you said parents, so help me understand. Is mom and dad, mom and mom, dad and
I have two
dad?
dads.
You have two dads?
Yeah.
So dad one and dad two, that's okay? Do you have
Yes.
another way to address that?
I have dad and I have poppy.
Okay. So is it dad or poppy that's causing you the stress?
My poppy.
Your poppy. So is your poppy also kind of help us understand, help Gabby and I understand what that stress looks like to you.
Yeah.
It's very confusing
Mm-hmm.
because my poppy is very more feminine than masculine.
Mm-hmm.
As a guy, and it's just very confusing because he's very accepting of like people who want to do drag and other trans people, but when it comes to me, he's not accepting.
That's tough.
Is he more accepting, do you think, of people that are perhaps male to female transgender, or
Yeah.
is it just sort of people other than you in general, do you think?
I feel like he's more accepting of male to female.
Okay. And Kimberly,
Mhm.
you said it was primarily your children that you're concerned about?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and make pretend like, you know, comments don't hurt,
Mm-hmm.
because they do.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, not having, you know, having certain people feel like your kids are not gonna understand, or I'm gonna change them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I knew, you know, I've always loved women, you know,
Mhm.
always did. But I knew that I wasn't a boy.
Mm-hmm.
At a very early age, we don't talk about shit like that. I'm an 80s kid, you know what I mean?
So can I ask a question for clarification? I heard you say you love women. So you identify as a transgender woman, but you also identify as a lesbian?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make
know,
sure
yeah,
that we're...
for ourselves.
Yeah.
So to kind of bring everything together, it sounds like we're all struggling with some internal feelings about what's going on in our external life. So it brings us to why we're here today, which is self-esteem. Mitch and Maria might remember that in past classes and groups we talked about our inner critic. So Kimberly, so you fill you in on that. Our inner critic is the parts of us that define who we are. They're our core beliefs, and so sometimes our inner critic is telling us that we are doing something wrong, or that we are breaking rules, even though we think we're doing what's right for us. So what we're here to do today is kind of to rewrite that inner critic and build our self-esteem. So our core beliefs sound more like I'm beautiful, and I'm smart, and I'm a good person. So where do you think we should go next, John? Do you want to?
Well, I think that I just kind of want to add to that surprisingly enough, even though it's that own voice in our head that we're hearing as the inner critic, you know, people say, oh, I'm my own worst critic, I'm hardest on myself, that a lot of that voice is shaped by what goes on around us, right?
Absolutely.
So in your case, Maria, it might be your grandma's values as a Catholic woman and all of the sort of rituals and lifestyle she has with that you're now having a clash with. And Mitch, it might be that your Poppy's acceptance of one set of transgender people and not the other is where you're having your clash and the sort of the negative feedback that you're getting. And Kimberly, it sounds like yours might be that if your children love their father, why can't they understand that I'm still their father? And they're giving you the static based on your outside not matching their preconceived.
Yeah, because the reality is that if this is gonna sound horrible, but if I wasn't a parent, I probably wouldn't be here in this group, because I'm happy with myself. I'm content in my own skin. I feel great about who I am. I don't feel great about who I am as a parent, because they make me feel like what I'm doing is wrong, because this ball is hurting them. You know what I mean? Hurting them is hurting me, and it makes me feel bad about being Kimberly. You know, I didn't talk to my kids and say, hey, I wanna, what do you think about me chopping it up and making it official? You know, I didn't talk to them about stuff like that, you know, because it's not for them, it's for me.
You're right. You should always be true to yourself.
And thank you for sharing a little bit. That sounds like that's your inner critic. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Gabby's going to lead you in through a activity to help us identify some things that our inner critics might be saying to ourselves, to give you what messages you might be getting from the outside that are causing you to have some struggle on the inside. And while she's passing out those papers to you, I'm just going to give you a quick sort of idea as to how that might look.
Oh,
So imagine that I come up to you,
like coffee?
thank you. I come up to you, Kimberly, and I say, oh, Kimberly, I don't like your earrings. Right? What might you say?
Who gives a shit?
Right. So that's you being resilient. That's you not addressing the inner critic.
That's the kind of confidence we're trying to go for today.
Absolutely. Now, see, imagine, Kimberly, somebody came up to you, and I don't want to use me because I don't want to cause any sort of negative thought. But imagine I came up to you, Kimberly, and said, you know what, Kimberly, I met your child, and I don't think they're a good person. How do you think that might make you feel?
That my kid isn't a good person.
Mm.
See, messing with the mama bear.
Right? There's, again, you're not listening to that. What if I said, Kimberly, I don't think you're a good person. I don't think you're a good parent.
It's a low blow.
That's a low blow. How might you feel on the inside?
Like shit.
Yeah. And see that last piece? Sometimes, due to a lot of pressure from the outside, our inner critics are telling us things that aren't true because you already said, I am a good parent. And you're willing to jump to protect your child. Do you follow me? Okay, so Gabby, why don't you lead the activity?
So, first of all, we're gonna kind of go over some things that our inner critic might be saying. It sounds like you shared some. I'm gonna share some of mine because I think it's unfair if you guys are doing all the sharing, and I think it's best somebody start us off. Some things my inner critic tells me is that I am incompetent in a couple areas of my life. Sometimes I feel like I can't keep up with all the things I put on my plate. So because of that, I feel like I can't meet the standards I set for myself. So now what I'd like you guys to do, if you're comfortable, and you never have to if you're not, but if you could share some things your inner critic is saying so we can rewrite them. So you want to start us off? You seem like you might want to start us off. Just give us one.
I am going to pass it along to Mitch. Mitch,
Alright.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
after you. You got this.
So a lot of my it's inner critic, right?
Inner
Yeah.
critic, yeah.
Okay. So a lot of my inner critic is like talking about like oh I'm like disappointing my parents because I'm on testosterone,
Mhm.
or like it's hurting the family.
Yeah, that's tough. Thank you for sharing. We're going to try to work through that today, okay?
And Maria, you're going to have a slightly different perspective, I think,
Yeah.
because this is all so new for you. So you might just be starting to get some of these messages. Have you noticed within yourself any sort of this criticism, this inner critic happening that maybe you can share with Gabby and me?
I feel right now, if I had to choose one, it would be I am bad. I'm not what they expected. I'm the unexpected of everything that they wanted. I'm the complete opposite. And I'm okay with being my own person, but at the same time, I don't want to have to sacrifice my relationship with my loved ones. But if it comes down to it, then I would choose me over them.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's an understandable feeling. Thank you all for sharing.
Yeah.
Gabby.
Did you want to share some inner critic stuff before we
Oh,
move on to the
how
next
much
thing?
time do we have? If I had to choose one, I'll tell you what. Can I share one? Would it be okay if I shared one that I changed?
I would love that because that will lead us right into our next subject.
So without going too much into detail, there a few years ago was a point in time where some things happened in my family, and they were kind of severe things, and my family was in distress for a long time. And my inner critic was telling me that I was a bad parent. You know, I have a son, and he's just about your age, Mitch, and I thought I was a bad parent for a long time because of what I didn't do to stop the situation. So I was a bad parent, and I was a failure, and I was not good enough because I didn't protect my child. It took a lot of time and a lot of rewiring of my brain, but I learned that even though bad things happen, that I'm not a bad person because of it. So we're hoping to give you a small piece of that to help you understand that there's a difference between those internal and those external struggles, and that what happens on the outside isn't as important as what goes on the inside, and we want you to leave here with a kind of a healthier, more positive mindset.
Yeah.
I just worry, like, what if the sacrifice is so much more than what you really want to gain? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes I challenge myself. I'm like, oh my God, am I going to make my kids feel that uncomfortable just so I could be happy, or should I just be so unhappy just to make them comfortable?
I think that's a difficult
You know?
situation that you bring up. I think you're not the only person who's felt it, and I wish that there was a right or a wrong answer to give you, but that's a decision you have to make on your own, and hopefully with some of these tools today you can walk out feeling better about whatever decision it is that you make. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of work on our I statement. So instead of saying things like, I am bad, I am a failure, we kind of want to rewrite those statements into, if I had to rewrite mine, I would say that I am a hard worker, I am a strong person. If John did rewrite his statements, and
I am a good parent. I am a loving parent. I am a protector.
so I'm going to pass out some worksheets and some markers. It said we're only going to do the top section today because if we have enough time, we're going to get to a really fun self-esteem game called Uno, so you guys can get to chat and know each other a little bit better. Well, I say called Uno, but it's about Uno. So John will pass that out and kind of help explain it to you guys a little bit.
Here you go, friends.
Let me get you markers.
Now the top box of this says define self-esteem, right?
Thank
Gavin,
you.
do you want one? I'll take one.
It
It says define self-esteem on it. And maybe we could, in the essence of time, do that orally.
Yeah, absolutely. Does somebody want to give a definition of self-esteem or what self-esteem means
Excuse
to
me,
them?
ma'am.
Oh, yeah, no problem. Sorry.
That's okay. The sensory shelf.
No takers?
Mitch, how about you? If I asked you to, if I was brand new to this planet and I didn't know what things were and I came to you and said, Mitch, I heard about self-esteem. What's self-esteem? What do you think you could tell me?
Self-esteem to me means how you feel about yourself, but like the good parts of how you feel about yourself. So if your self-esteem is high, it means that you feel good about yourself, but if your self-esteem is low, then it means that you don't feel good about yourself.
Okay.
Awesome. Maria, do you want to jump into that and add something?
I think your self-esteem is your morals to yourself, your beliefs, the way you view yourself, your perspective of yourself, the way you choose to deal with things, the way you take it in, and the way you're able to cope with society and the way that it can be harsh.
Those
Awesome.
are both really good definitions. Do you want to give it a try?
I think self-esteem is just your makeup of how you view yourself, view the world, view others.
Awesome. I think you all made really good points. I want to touch on some of the points that were made. I think it was Mitch who said that people who have bad self-esteem might use bad terms to describe themselves. So what we're going to kind of move into is those good terms and how we can work that. Did you want to explain a little bit about that, or do you want me to?
No, you can
Okay,
continue, please.
perfect. So I gave you a couple examples of my own, so ways that, and sometimes I have to imagine that I'm somebody with good self-esteem to get this done, and then when I'm done, I feel like the person I imagined myself to be. So I said that I am hardworking was my first choice. So I want to take those things that you said your inner critic talked about earlier, and I want you to turn them around. So maybe we're only going to do 5. You don't have to do all 10 unless you're feeling ambitious and want to. But try to turn around those original self-esteem comments you gave yourself, the inner critic ones, and then maybe give me 2 that you just really feel about yourself
In a positive way.
in a positive way.
And if you're a visual person like me, it's okay for you to, maybe on the next line over, if you're only doing 5, write the negative one with a not in front of it. So
There you
Gabby
go.
said, I'm a hard worker. She might write, I'm a hard worker. on line number 1, but then next to that, on number 6 or continuing over, she might write not a lazy bum or whatever. I was
Yeah.
putting words in
No,
your
no,
mouth. I don't know
absolutely.
that that's your thought, but
I know where you were
do you
going.
know what I mean? Just so that we can start with those positive I statements that Gabby told you were so important.
So I have one that is bad and good. I don't know how to switch it.
You don't know how to switch
I
it?
can talk about that because a
Yeah.
lot of times people get stuck
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
they're not sure how to go forward from there.
Maybe it's just using a different word, but I wrote.
Let's finish up and then we can
Oh,
share.
Yeah,
out.
put a
I'm
star
sorry.
next to
Yeah.
it because
Okay.
maybe the group can help us.
Okay.
That's a good idea. We'll turn it to them.
Yeah. I love seeing everybody writing away. When you are all done, if you just want to put your pen down so that way we know. Thank you. Sorry, I know that feels a little like class.
Eighteen, 19 years old. These two have recently graduated high school, it sounds like. And then Kimberly, they still had.
I graduated high school too.
Love the confidence in this room. You guys had a lot of negative I statements, so I can't wait to hear what you wrote for yourself
Absolutely.
positively.
We'll just give it another minute for
Yeah.
Kimberly to finish.
Absolutely.
My handwriting's gotten so bad since school.
Okay.
All right. Can I make a special request? I feel like we keep starting on this thing. Can we start with you, Maria? Do you
Yeah.
mind sharing some of the things that you wrote?
I put I am lovable. This one I have tattooed. I am enough. I am
that's a great-
strong. I am hardworking, and I am selfless.
Why don't you choose 2 of those and connect it to the negative thought with a not? So you make your I statement, which were all wonderful and powerful, but choose 2 of them and add what you're not. So like with Gabby, she would say, I am a hard worker, not a lazy bum. Just so you can hear yourself tell yourself what you're not.
I am enough, not a second option. I am strong, not weak.
Awesome.
Those were
Not a
awesome.
second option. I love that. First choice. Good for you.
Those were awesome.
Mitch?
I wrote, I am masculine. I am not a disappointment. I am loved. I am valid, and I am stronger than who I used to be.
Amazing.
Yeah, those were powerful.
Can you
Thank
take 2 of those and do the same thing that Maria did?
Yeah. I am valid, but I am not an object.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Kimberly?
I wrote, I am a strong force. I am not a disappointment. And then I wrote, I'm selfish. Well, I'm selfish.
Is that?
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's okay to be selfish.
But it's bad to be selfish too.
So, is this the one that you were struggling with?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, all right. So I thought before John and I help, do you guys have a way you might rewrite the term I am selfish, but I am... Is there a...
I mean, we all know that selfish can be a good thing.
Yeah.
If by selfish you mean I'm going
I
to
am
eat all the
selfish.
ice cream so you can't have it, that might be a bad one. But the good selfish is like, I'm going to express my identity. I am a woman. I need to show that, no matter what anyone says.
Well, yeah, because I feel like when I say I am selfish, I'm not selfish. It's like I am.
Self-care isn't selfish.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I'm gonna write that. That's the new way to do it. What's say it again?
Self-care isn't selfish.
Self-care isn't selfish. Oh, God.
Mitch, any way you want to add to that? Do you want to help Kimberly overcome turning the word selfish around?
Yeah, I am selfish, but I'm not ignoring everyone else's feelings.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I am a competent counselor. I am not faking it.
Oh, that's a good one.
I am a loving father. I am not a broken man.
Those are awesome.
How about you, Gabby?
Well, I didn't write mine down personally, so I guess I'll just share them out loud. I'm going to have to start with the one John initially gave. I'm hardworking, not somebody who puts things off. We'll phrase it a little differently for professional reasons. And I am competent, and instead of a not, I put because I know what I'm doing.
Wonderful. Can we just take a minute to look around this group and look at each other in the eyes and give each other just a moment of recognition and validation for all of the statements that you just made? We filled this room with strength and resiliency and coping and power and identity and validity, all of these wonderful things.
And I want to thank everybody for sharing today, because we shared a lot of really personal things about our lives, about ourselves, and what we did today in this room wasn't easy. It wasn't easy for me or for John, so I can imagine it might not have been easy for you guys, but I feel like we really got to know each other. Are we feeling a little bit better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the last thing we have today, unless do you have something you want to
Well,
talk about first? We only have about 13 minutes left today.
Wow, time has flown by.
I
But
know.
good thing this is the first of our many sessions together. No, I think it's important to continue in the vein of self-esteem, and we did a great job in rewriting some of those core beliefs. I do want to add, though, that I think before our next session, it would be important for you to take a couple of episodes during the week of when you hear a negative message or when somebody says something negative to you, that you can bring back and share with the group that you've rewritten to be more positive, so that you don't walk away from the situation feeling less than because you are, finding these feelings for Jessica, and where you didn't feel like you had to give up a piece of your identity because you met some opposition from your parent. And for you, where you found an opportunity to gain something positive, a moment of intimacy between you and your children, something that you can turn that flow around.
Yeah, I think that would be fantastic homework. We do have notebooks on the way out, so this is just, and I'll remind you guys as you're leaving, feel free to take them and write those moments down so you don't forget, because I'd love to hear them back.
I just want to, I know, like, I'm new to the group, so
Absolutely.
I don't remember, but, like, what if I wanted to bring people here? Like, what is the rules
Please.
of our group?
Open door.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And what if they're not, like, really accepting? Like, what if I wanted to bring my ex-wife, her with me? Just to understand, like, is there an age thing? Like, I missed the rules of this group.
So there's no age limit and there's no rule limit. The only real rule that we kind of have here is that despite your beliefs and who you are and who you are trying to be in this world, you need to come in here with an open mind, open heart.
And respect. Bring your respect. The only consideration to add to that, if you believe she can be respectful enough, if she believes she can be respectful enough, because, ladies and gentlemen, there's enough hate out in that world
Yeah.
that we don't need to bring it in here.
Unfortunately, if there's going to end up being hate, we will ask her to leave. Just for the sake of everyone here, we want this to be an open, loving space. So,
But other than that,
yeah.
we're a safe space. Bring
Everybody.
people in.
Friends, family.
So on to the game.
Yeah, so it's been a long day. We've come through some rough feelings. So I thought that we could play Uno, but the trick to this Uno is it's called self-esteem Uno because we couldn't just play regular Uno with me or with John. So I have here a list of some questions. I'll be the one keeping an eye. Do we want to just kind of let it be the three of them we monitor, or should we join in?
Join in. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Join
Why-
in?
Why would you just watch?
I know, it is boring to just
Uno.
watch, but you'd be surprised the amount of kids who have told me
The
I
masses
shouldn't.
have spoken, Gabby. The
I
masses
know.
have spoken.
The amount
Maria
of teens
has
we get in
spoken.
here.
Oh, look at wait a minute, excuse me. Self-esteem, party of one. Self-esteem, party of one. Look who joined the group.
Yeah, Maria's walking out of here a whole different woman.
That's a good song.
I love that song.
Where my middle name came from.
That's my jam.
Does everyone know how to play Uno?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. If you forget some rules, just ask along the way.
Or make 'em
So
up.
everybody's gonna, well, let's not make them up. We don't want any cheaters. So everyone's gonna take their 5. Why don't we go clockwise? So we'll start with Maria, go this way. I will be in charge of the list. If you pick up a number or color that deserves talking, I will let you know, okay? So everyone grab your 5 cards. And we'll just play till we're out of time.
Oh,
Mitch, do you want to grab your cards?
No cheating, John. You can't watch me.
I'm not cheating.
I like to take from everywhere. Oh, did you see my card?
Yes.
Oh, no, no, no.
Oh.
Espérate, Mitch. Excuse me. I make sure nobody's cheating here. No, here.
You know
Mitch,
what?
why
At
don't you
least he
have-
was honest.
I know, I appreciate that, Mitch.
I was like, yeah.
Oh, that card is upside down. All these
Oh
cards
my
are upside
gosh.
down.
I'm the
I
worst
screwed it
shuffler.
up.
I'll take those. I'll take the upside down cards. Oh no.
Just, you know what? It's just for the interest of time. Let's give Mitch.
Oh, we're good.
Yeah, I
Pull
need
them out
3
random.
Sorry.
No,
You
the
need to
rest of
take
them are.
that or
No.
anything
The
else.
rest of them seem
How
fine
many do you need,
anyways.
3.
Can I just give you 3 off the top?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody saw them if it matters.
We all know that Kimberly's got her eye out for some cheaters.
Yeah. Yeah. She's not gonna let any cheating happen today.
All right. So, Gabby, why don't you tell us how we're doing this?
So it's just regular Uno. Like I said, we're just playing the regular rules of Uno. What's going to happen is I have a list of cards here in colors that if you pull a certain card, specifically some of them of a certain color, I'm going to ask you to stop. I'm going to read you a question and you're going to answer. Not everybody has to answer the question, just the person with the
You have to
card,
put one
okay?
card down, right?
Yeah, so we're going to put one down now.
Who goes first?
Maria's going first. We're going clockwise.
Yeah.
Red.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, freeze. So your question is, how have you taken good care of yourself today?
I got out of bed and showered.
I think that's
For you.
fantastic. Good for you.
All right. Kimberly.
I'm just telling you the truth. I don't like to lie. I'm not a liar. I'll tell you the truth. Okay, I want you to pick up 2.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Wait, so can somebody else remind me of the rules of Uno? Do I still get a turn when I pick up
Nope.
2?
That was your turn.
Oh, by the way, though, if there's a +2 and you have a +2, you
I
can
can
put down a
counteract
+2
it.
and he can pick up 4. But since you already picked up your cards,
I don't have a +2.
you don't have a
anyways.
chance to make him pick up 4.
Freeze. What is something you feel proud about?
I feel proud about changing my career because before this I was a teacher
Mm-hmm.
and then I decided to become a clinical counselor and I did it.
Yeah, it's a big,
It took a
big
lot of work,
choice.
but I did it. I
Yeah,
changed my
good
goal.
for you.
Maria, back to you.
Oh, Maria, sorry, there's no question for a 4. We gotta move on. Is that okay? I can
fine.
make one up if you feel left out.
I think I'll live.
All right.
For the pain.
Your turn.
I'll
Okay.
figure it out over here.
9. Oh my goodness, you're getting all the questions. Who in your life supports you the most?
My dad.
That's awesome.
Well, what if I got the same card?
Oh, who in your life supports you the most?
I don't think.
It's a tough one.
It is. Because we know what ain't my kids. So,
That's true.
I think the people in this group
Mhm.
right now,
Absolutely,
in this
we
moment,
support
I
you.
can't talk about other people.
I think you got you.
I think you
Yeah,
got you too.
I got me,
Yeah.
boo.
Yeah,
I
you're right.
completely
You do.
agree.
Your biggest supporters.
Mhm.
All my biggest enemy. Well, depends on the. It depends on the
Go
day.
ahead.
I just didn't want to cut
Is there a
first
4?
Nope.
Mm,
I know. I'm kind of cheating because I have the rules. I'm putting down cards.
7?
Oh, nope.
okay.
3. Okay, you got one now.
Ta-da!
How have you taken good care of yourself today?
I went on a ride down a dirt road and listened to music to
Oh,
relax.
sometimes that's so
Take me
needed.
with you.
I
Right?
do
you
that
listen to?
almost every day.
Oh, that sounds
Huh?
really
What did you
good.
listen to?
I was listening to Luke Bryan and Rascal Flatts.
I
I
love
listen
Luke
to all
Bryan.
music though. I listen to every genre. Rain, snow,
I love
Sun.
that. The no
I
limitations.
love the driving.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I might have to try that soon. Mitch, it's your turn. You got another one. You ready?
Yeah.
When do you most feel that you belong? Or where? This says when, but we'll go with where.
Where I most feel like I belong is my workplace.
Oh, awesome. Where do you work?
I work at a coffee shop.
Oh, so
It's a very
cool.
small business, and everyone there is loving and accepting.
That's awesome. Good for you.
See. Dun dun.
Oh my gosh, I'm just getting the bad hand today.
What does that mean though?
Skip.
You
Oh,
skipped
I
our
thought that
turn.
meant zero.
No,
You skipped me.
My bad.
It's alright.
7.
I'm not out to
Maria?
win today.
Uno.
You stop it right now.
I always win Uno.
Oh hell no, not today.
Yeah, we're coming for you. Well, not me,
We'll
because I have the
see.
most
Where's
cards.
those
but-
pickup twos?
We'll see what.
Mitch, go ahead.
Blue.
Uno.
Ooh.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Blue
Alright,
no.
but you also have
Blue
another
no.
question. Blue no. I love a good pun. Okay. What are you really good at?
I'm really good at making people happy and writing essays in 30 minutes.
Oh,
Wow.
good for you.
Oh.
Where were you when I was in school?
Right?
of my life.
You want to do my
For
homework?
real.
Kimberly, it's your
Kimberly,
turn.
it's your turn.
Uno.
What?
Oh,
Hold it.
You ain't winning today.
Uno, then Uno, then Uno, and look at this.
Look at that.
And green.
We
and
were-
make up four.
We run this group for you, and this is how you treat us. You know, I thought we were all almost, you know, getting along.
care about you guys.
4. Okay, and it's green.
I always get so
It's
nervous
green?
when it gets to this
Uh-huh.
part of the
Okay.
game.
I'm thinking I gotta stall till we run out of time. How much time do we have left?
We have, well, we only have like 2-3 minutes.
All right,
Oh.
so play.
Oh,
Oh.
6 for green.
That's right.
Awesome.
I'm not a happy camper.
No.
Oh.
You're out. You gotta get out of jail free card for that one.
So do I have to pick
Yeah, you
up
keep picking
until
up.
I...
Yeah, we're not following that new Twitter rule. I know what you're talking about. I saw it.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Alright, okay.
Just get those balloons out. Get everything
No!
ready because it is going down.
Come on! You
All
have
right.
the best hand. I
It-
should have shuffled better.
Air high fives for Kimberly. And I think a great way to close this, Gabby, because we're running out of time.
Absolutely.
Kimberly won the game, but first of all, you all won by coming here and being so involved and so participatory. I think it would be nice if Kimberly, as a parting gift to all the people that didn't win, you know, that you could choose one of them and complete the following sentence, and we'll pass it along in a chain. You didn't win at Uno, but you're winning at blank. Give somebody a little bit of self-esteem. So Kimberly might say to you, you won at Uno, and you're winning at being a strong, confident woman.
Oh man.
Tough
I
one.
pick anyone.
You pick anybody.
Anyone.
I'm
One of
picking
us.
you. You next to me. I'm sorry.
You didn't win at Uno,
You
but
didn't win. I did. But you are winning here because you're here, and you're giving me the strength. Things are gonna be alright for me.
A boy's gonna cry.
Oh,
That was so
Don't
strong.
worry. It's the truth.
all right, Mitch, why don't you pass it along?
Okay.
You
Pass
can,
that love.
Gabby, me, Maria.
You didn't win at Uno.
she did.
Kimberly won at Uno. You didn't win at Uno, but you did win at learning self-confidence and finding a girl that you love.
All right, Maria, pass it along.
Mitch,
You didn't win at Uno. She did. But you won the power to fight to be better than you were yesterday.
Amazing,
I
guys.
love that. Fantastic, guys.
So this group, like you saw on the flyer, generally meets every week. Same time, same place,
Wednesdays, 5 o'clock.
here at the Franklin Center. So my kings and queens and everyone in between,
We hope to see you next week.
Of course.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing and
Thanks for playing.
I might be a little late next week, but I'm gonna be here.
all right, we can't wait to see you.
I am confident.
Is there gonna be cookies?
Oh, we can bring some cookies.
I'm cool with that. Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe somebody else
Any
will get a chance to
allergies
win
in the
it or not.
room?
I have gluten free
Yeah,
and
me.
pineapple.
Gluten. Oh, pineapple. Me too.
Oh,
Gluten free,
Yeah.
pineapple.
Oh.
So we'll have some gluten free, pineapple free
I love
Cookies.
pineapple.
cookies.
We can have an ice cream. What did we
An
used
ice
to
cream
do?
social.
We can have an ice cream social.
Ice cream social.
Love the
You
idea.
can
We
can
explain
get
it next
Ben
group.
We can
Yes.
have some Ben and Jerry's and have an ice cream social.
Gelato.
Fantastic.
Oh, gelato's where it's at. I agree with the gelato. It's,
Guys.
a little, it's like $2-3 more bucks expensive, but it's good.
Ladies,
It's worth it.
gentlemen,
Everyone in between.
everyone in between, taking the words out of my mouth. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.